Her fight for life in an Athens hospital.
Good evening. First, the death of Mr. Football, Ted Whitten.
To many, E.J. was the greatest. Now plans are underway for an unprecedented honour, a state funeral next Tuesday. And today, as the tears and tributes flowed, the opening of a bridge dedicated to the former Footscray champ. Karen O'Sullivan begins our coverage.
Premier Jeff Kennett wanted to defer this morning's state government ceremony dedicating the new Western Ring Road Bridge in honour of E.J. Whitten. But putting on a brave face, it was Ted Whitten's family who insisted the unveiling went ahead.
And, young Ted just said, well, we're all going, because this is what his father would love to do. And that's why we're all here. Right? And I think his father, he'd love to have been here too.
The 600-metre bridge across the Maribyrnong River Valley has special E.J. Whitten signage painted in Mr. Football's beloved red, white and blue bulldog colours.
I know it's going to be a long-standing memory for our family and a lot of other people who have known Dad over the years. And I know he was very honoured with the recognition. Thank you very much.
Premier Kennett paid tribute to the man he described as a symbol of commitment to his sport and his state.
And I think perhaps nothing more expressed his directness than the phrase he used when in charge of our interstate teams, when he used to say so regularly, particularly against South Australia, let's stick it up them.
Prime Minister Paul Keating released a statement saying Ted Whitten was a great footballer and a true working-class hero. The state opposition described Mr. Football as a fighter to the end.
And I think he'll be remembered not just as a great Victorian and a great footballer, but as a great symbol and representative of the western suburbs of Melbourne.
Even motorists driving across the newly dedicated bridge paid their own tributes. The Whitten family has accepted a Kennett government offer for a state funeral, and Ted Whitten Sr.'s wish that the service be held at St Patrick's Cathedral, where his parents were married, will be granted. Ted Whitten's state funeral is expected to be held next Tuesday.
Let's face it, he's Mr. Football and he will be forever.
The latter-day larrikin of Footscray, Doug Hawkins, the only player to top Teddy Whitten's 321-game record with the Bulldogs. To him, Ted Whitten represented many things.
I suppose he was a friend, an inspiration, and I suppose a bit of a father figure as well, to me as well. So he is a hell of a lot.
But today, Doug went on with an in-store promotion of his book because...
He'd say, listen, son, get on and do your job, son. Get on with it.
E.J. is a true legend of the game. As a player, he was without peer.
At the headquarters of Ted's beloved game, there were the accolades reserved for only the very best.
E.J. displayed courage, unbelievable skill, fierce determination, which was always underpinned by a wonderful sense of humour. E.J. was the embodiment of our great game, particularly to the Victorian community.
The AFL has yet to decide on its lasting tribute to Mr. Football, but it will begin with a minute's silence before each game this weekend.
Nobody's larger than life, but E.J.'s as close to it as you can be, I think.
Friend of 5 decades and triple Brownlow medalist Bobby Skilton was unstinting in his thoughts of his mate.
He is the best that I've seen and the greatest player. But E.J. Whitten, the person, is even better than that. And anyone who's ever needed a chip out was always E.J. that was first there, and his touch with what I might term the general public, the Mr. Normal.
Ted had a great sense of nobility about his football. He's one of the old school, fierce contest, but once that contest is over, hey, come and have a drink, come and have a talk. It was really, really fantastic the way, and he set the lead in that respect.
You just admire the guy for what he was. You know, a true competitor, a great Australian, a fantastic guy, and a guy that I enjoyed his company immensely.
It was the football legend's brother, Don, who today shouldered the load for the family.
Poor fellow, he's in a hell of a lot of pain. But he, throughout his illness, he didn't whinge once. He copped it on the chin, and he handled it like a man should handle it too.